Hello.
Hello.
Hello? It does show us that we're recording. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, like it wiggles our little voice.
Ooh.
We're just now realizing that.
For fuck's sake.
I guess when we stop for too long, maybe that's when it cuts us off.
You know, podcasting is just hard. And I think the fact that you and I both live in such remote, shitty little teeny tiny towns that don't even want to have internet, it makes it probably a little bit harder.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But here we are, in the flesh. In the flesh. Together.
We are.
That was a little bit of a long drive.
Yeah,
It's nice. It's nice, but I think forcing either of us to do that every week would be terrible.
Like I actually enjoy the drive, so
Yeah. How do you do with that bridge?
I'm fine with that one because like I actually had like a really severe panic attack scenario going over that one. Well, I saw that it was coming, and so I just like veered off to the side road instead of like actually going over it like in a panic. And then I think I was having a domestic dispute with the person I was in the car with, and that person was like refusing to drive over the bridge for me, so I just had to drive over the bridge. And I guess, I don't know, that one I don't have a problem with, but I can kind of not have a problem with the one going into Portland, but it's the ones that are like kind of just sort of, it's
all
like where
over Portland?
Yeah, like for me, like if I'm going over it and I can't see the end, and then I start looking around, and then I panic because of my height, like how high I am in the air, and then like my mind just goes like whack. Like I just like shut down, and then I start like, I stop accelerating, so I like just start going like 5 miles per hour.
And everyone behind you gets angry, and then you get
honking,
more stressed out.
honking, flipping me off, passing me, like saying horrible things through their lips. I can't hear what they're saying, but
So
this
sad.
is like so angry. Well, it's just something that I don't feel like it's safe to do. Like I feel like it's like potentially endangering lives, so I'd rather just like not even try to chance it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, yeah.
That's what I was telling Patrick and his mom on the way out here. I was like, yeah, when Megan and I do road trips, we try to like plan it out so that I'm driving over bridges.
Yeah.
Or I'm driving through Portland, you know, is ideal.
Yeah. Anywhere that gets kind of like, I don't know. I like rural roads.
Yeah.
Like I like 2-lane rural roads. That's like where I feel the safest. Even though I've seen like so many like accidents or whatever, like on the rural roads. I felt like I was seeing an accident like a week, like living out when I was driving like back and forth to Chehalis from Doty. I felt like I was like at least once a week there was an accident on that highway.
Yeah, I feel like people have been sliding right off of it pretty often.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Patrick being a firefighter, EMT.
Yeah.
Firefighter / EMT.
Yeah.
He always gets called out, and it's almost always
Yeah.
car accident.
I think I've seen him twice going down that road, like driving upon an accident and him being there, like in his gear. Like it's like happened a couple of times. And then there was that one time I had to call him because of that elderly man's car. Like he sneezed and like went off the road and was in that ditch. And then
Holy shit.
he left his engine running, and like that grass was starting to catch fire. And stuff like around the truck, and then I was like trying to pull him out, but it was like at a 90-degree angle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I called Patrick because I knew he was closer than being able to, like any paramedic was going to be able to get there.
Why have I never heard this story?
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, the little old man was so adorable too. He was so cute. He was like really old. He was really, really old and like should not have been driving his pickup truck or whatever. But he's like, I sneezed and like drove off the road. And Patrick, like, I left him my like a blanket or wool blanket or whatever because he was cold. He asked if he could come sit in my car because he was cold. Oh, was so sad. Yeah, I was supposed to be at work, but I'm glad that I like was there when I did because I was able to call Patrick, because he got there before anybody else could,
Yeah.
just down the street.
I have watched that man save, I think, 4 lives since I've known him in 4
doesn't
years.
surprise me. Yeah,
I've seen him save a life a year.
that's
And
pretty
it's
good.
it's so,
Statistics.
we've been talking about it a lot, and like, he has this YouTube channel that he's watched a little bit that's like veterans talking about things and whatever. And one of the things they talk about is that veterans go through such intense things when they're deployed.
Yeah.
And so just, I mean, shit that we can't even fucking imagine.
Right.
Like, he's told me things that I've been like, I've never in a million, I have this Hollywood idea in my head of what war is. That's all we know.
Yeah.
But anyway, they go through such intense things over there, and they have such like high adrenaline jobs and things that they have a purpose and they're meant to do it and all these things. And when they come back home and they're civilians, they miss that. They said that, he said, instead of like post-traumatic stress disorder, it's like lack of stress disorder, where they're so used to having that insane stress on them that when they don't, they feel worthless.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but that makes total sense.
So them going into fields like firefighting or, being an EMT, some high stress situation where you need to do a job or somebody's going to die, they thrive in that.
Yeah.
Where they...
Familiar.
Yeah, it's such a different... when you have that like fight or flight response, kind of thing, that's what you have when someone else is in a dangerous situation too, where you're either the person that's going to up and run in there and fucking save that person's life, or you're going to be scared and run back and go try to find help.
Right.
There's like 2 different kinds of people. I'm definitely the like, I think, run and go find help person.
Yeah.
If I come upon a car accident, I don't think, holy shit, I'm going to get out of my car and help those people. I think I'm going to call 911. I don't know that I'm capable of helping those people. I don't want to move them if they're injured.
Yeah.
Like I don't run in.
Yeah.
He pulls over and runs in immediately, and that has always done that, even long before he was an EMT. It's just, it's natural. It's, holy shit, that person's in trouble. I'm going to go help them. Not thinking about their own safety at all.
Right. Yeah.
So, you've probably heard this story. I don't know. But when I first met Patrick, we went to a, what's it called? When you go to like a bar and they do like, they ask like questions and like you answer them.
Oh, like a trivia night?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Trivia night. We went to a trivia night at like Applebee's in like West Olympia.
Yeah.
And on our way back, you know how Highway 101 comes around and then it merges with I-5, and right between them there's that weird little like empty triangle where sometimes people will pull over to like if their car's broken down or whatever.
Yeah.
We were coming right up to that and he was like, pull over, pull over, pull over. And so I did, and I pulled over in that little spot, and he did not say a word to me. He just like grabbed this little like, I was driving his car because he had been drinking, but it was his car, and he grabbed his little like kit out of it and just ran across the freeway. So 4 lanes of I-5.
Wow. Yeah.
He's just out of the car and running across the freeway. I haven't even seen what's happening yet. He just left the car.
Yeah.
So he goes across the freeway. I see him like hop over the median, and then he goes into the other lane, and I see that
God, what
southbound.
Were you thinking? Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck?
You get cold feet in this relationship. He's just out
bye.
Here.
Well, I saw him grab
know.
when he grabbed the med kit. You know, I figured something was wrong, but I was like, I am so slow that I'm not even seeing this.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
I just had to know.
I look over at southbound I-5 is completely stopped.
Oh, dang.
All 4 lanes of southbound I-5, and I can see all this traffic like completely stopped, and then there's behind them emergency vehicles that are trying to get through.
Yeah.
But all this traffic, this semi-truck had crashed where It was on its side.
Wow, yeah.
The trailer was blocking all 4 lanes of I-5, and the cab was blocking the entrance onto Highway 101.
Dang.
That
Yeah.
exit from... So every single way that anyone could go
Right.
after that was blocked.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So all those cars had nowhere to even go around that guy. So all those emergency vehicles were stuck back there and couldn't... Like, people were stopping their emergency vehicles and just running. But Patrick was the first one there.
Wow, yeah.
So he gets there. The cab is completely over on its side.
Yeah.
He climbs up and pulls the door open and sees the guy down there. He's like knocked out. He goes down. He like climbs down and wakes him up, asks him if he's okay, if anything hurts or anything like that. He like, which he wouldn't do this now because he's an EMT and he knows not to move people. But in that, then he just fucking threw him over his shoulder, climbed out the top of the cab, which is like an intense move.
Yeah.
Comes out, brings the guy down out of the cab and like walks him away from the crash truck because it's like smoking and shit.
Right.
And stops and sits there and waits with him until the EMTs and the police get there.
Yeah.
So all I'm seeing is like he runs into this car crash.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Then he finally, I see a police officer stopping traffic on the freeway to get him back to me, you know?
Yeah.
So
Gosh,
the cop like
holy
stopping
shit,
all this
yeah.
traffic the whole way, and he like comes back over and he gets in the car and he's doing his like you know, his like his giggle that he does. And then he gets in, he puts his little med pack back and he's like, okay, you can go.
Oh my gosh. That's so true, Patrick style.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened, dude?
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. But I've seen him do shit like that multiple times. And it's like
Yeah, like no, it ain't no thing. It's just like
no, it's like it's what
barely broke a sweat.
Yeah, it's what a lot of veterans need. I think that are when they're in that like combat, especially kind of role that's high stress and scary as fuck.
Right.
They need like those situations to feel like normal. And we'll never understand it. I'll never understand it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of those guys can't get into those positions too, because like maybe they've had like, you know, like also, you know, like traumatic brain injuries, but to the point where they can't like, you know, like they
Get
can't,
past it.
Yeah. And so like can't get themselves into a position like that. And I think that's like why, you know, sadly that like so many of them struggle with, you know.
Memory is a huge thing that's affected when they have traumatic brain injuries.
Right. So all that testing.
Yeah, all the, you have to memorize so much to become an EMT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy shit. I was going to ask you, sorry.
I'd never heard that story though,
That's
that
amazing.
in depth.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard the story. You're like, yeah, Patrick just jumped out of the truck, or out of the car, and ran over and saved some guy in a truck, and like. But I heard like the very like slimmed down version. I hadn't heard all those details, so that was pretty amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to provide. That's like not a worst day of my life story at all. It's like I mean, it was probably a pretty bad day for that guy, that dude. But he was probably, you know, pretty happy that Patrick climbed in there and carried him out.
Right.
I remember his shoulder being so fucked up after that too.
Yeah.
Because the arm that he got shot in is like there's so much muscle damage in there, and he was going to physical therapy back then and stuff like that all the time. But I remember he really hurt it helping that guy out.
Oh
but
man. Yeah.
He's so sweet.
He is sweet, and to him it was probably worth it.
Oh, for sure. This was such a long time ago when you were talking about the sneezing and then crashing in the car.
Oh, yeah.
But I had a little flashback from my childhood when you were saying that.
Yeah.
So I remember being in my bed and hearing the doorbell ring, which was super weird because it's really late at night. We lived like pretty far, kind of out in the boonies. Not super far out, but like a little bit.
Yeah.
Far enough out that it's weird to just have somebody... We didn't have neighbors, you know?
Yeah.
So, I remember hearing the doorbell ring, and then I, like, kind of, like, peeked my head out from around my, like, bedroom door. And my mom was, like, like helping carry this woman that was like covered in blood, head to toe.
Whoa.
Fucking covered in blood. And she was like putting her into like our bathtub. And she was like, Jim, call 911, call 911. And I remember just, I had to be really little, because this is like a really faint, weird memory that just came up when you said that. But
yeah.
But I remember my mom like trying to like help wash all this blood off this woman, and this woman just saying like, I sneezed and I drove into a ditch. Like she drove into the ditch.
Oh my gosh.
When she fucking sneezed.
What the hell?
Crashed, and like the, I guess the, windshield like shattered all over her, so that's like what like caused a lot of the intense crazy bleeding. So it was like she wasn't like damaged deep, you know, or anything, but it was still, as a little child, like seeing somebody like covered in blood walking through your house was like really fucking scary.
Whoa.
But I sneeze with my eyes open now when I'm driving.
I wish I could sneeze with my eyes open, but I sneeze so dramatically, like it feels like I'm ripping out like my entire esophagus.
Are you
like
fucking scream sneezer?
It's not quite a scream. It's more like a deep thrust out. Hey, well, lucky for you, I don't do it that often because you didn't notice.
No, I guess not.
I do.
I have really adorable sneezes.
I'm sure you do. It's part of like having the golden pussy or whatever, right? That you get like delicate, golden sneezes.
All of our golden pussy conversation was silent in the first episode.
Nobody knows what we're talking
nobody
about.
knows what the golden pussy is, so we have to.
Right.
We'll have to retell that story.
I know, because I do want to. I do want you to read those emails again, because that was a lot of fun.
So good.
Yeah.
Let's just do it right now. Let me see. We'll pause and we'll see what Patrick and his mom are up to.
Okay.
Are you ready to hear an email? Do you know how to act? Are you good at acting?
No. No.
Okay. Well, I guess just don't even pretend like you've never heard it before. We'll just tell this story together.
Okay.
No, I'll tell the story, and then you tell your story.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Focus.
Okay.
Focus. Here, we got this. Okay. So, we still haven't even... we never introduced ourselves.
Oh, no! Oh, gosh. What?
It's fine. Whatever. We're the boss. I'm Cherish.
I'm Megan.
If you didn't know, then whatever. That's my fucking intro. Okay. So, I'm going to read you this email that somebody sent us. Did they sign it? Yes. Okay. This is from our friend Allison, okay?
Okay.
Hi, hello. You know those days when all of your good clothes are dirty and you have to dig around and find anything to wear? Well, that's how this day started out. My outfit on this day was a long skirt with a drawstring that liked to loosen itself, and a shirt that I never wore because it was too short for my taste. It stopped right at my waist. It was a Friday around lunchtime, and the UPS person was on the way to the small shop where I worked. I had to hurry and run a block away to get to the bank so that I could get a money order before the packages were delivered. This happened in the early 2000s, FYI. Okay. I made it to the bank lobby and was super excited that there weren't many people in there, so I could be back to the shop quick. Soon after I got in line, the lobby filled up and the line was maybe 10 or 12 people deep behind me. Finally, it was my turn next. I'm making sure I have all the cash I need for the money orders when suddenly, out of nowhere, my skirt falls off. I don't mean just slips down a little. It falls all the way to my ankles. And I'm not wearing underwear.
Oh, no.
Totally sounds like something that would happen to you. For some reason that I'll never understand, I turn around to look at the crowd of people behind me. I don't just turn my head like a normal person, but I turn my entire body. So now these people who were just trying to cash their checks on a Friday at lunchtime have not only seen my below the waist naked body from the back, but now also from the front.
Oh, God.
I then proceed to bend all the way over at my waist, not squat, again, like a normal person would, to pick up my skirt. As I'm turned to the back, I make eye contact with this old man directly behind me. His eyes grew huge. His mouth was open all the way. And he took a few steps back in shock, in horror.
Or getting a good look.
Yeah, yeah. Full
So
asshole. Okay. I can't even think about it. I'll never forget the look in his eyes.
Oh, no.
At this point, my heart is beating so fast and my brain has just quit working. The bank teller says next, and holding my still half-off skirt, I step up to the counter. The teller asks what I need and my body is frozen. I can't get the words to come out of my mouth. I stare at her. She asks again what I need, and I make direct eye contact with her and say my skirt just fell off. She stares at me, and I think she must not have heard me, so I repeat, my skirt just fell off. She scrunches up her face and looks confused, but says nothing in response.
Oh,
Fuck.
That's terrible customer service.
I know. I set the money on the counter and manage to squeak out what I need as soon as she takes the money. Stanley? As soon as she takes the money, I realize I'm going to have to stand here for about 10 minutes while she gets my money orders. Oh, 3 money orders. I'm also realizing at this point that I should have just gotten the hell out of there immediately. But no, of course, I stayed, knowing that everyone behind me has seen that, yes, I am a natural redhead. Fuck. And the carpet does, in fact, match the drapes. Oh. Yeah, it was absolutely horrible when it happened, and I cried for at least an hour afterwards. Now I can't stop laughing every time I remember it. Or when I think about how somewhere there's probably security camera oh, for sure there's security camera footage.
Absolutely.
Oh, that sucks.
I can just see like people like on their lunch breaks.
Yes.
You guys want to see what happened today? Look at 10 a.m. or whatever time this happened.
Oh, yes. I keep waiting for it to show up on YouTube or something. I would love to see it. Oh, you're so sweet. I hope you enjoyed my story, Allison, who now always opts for elastic skirt waists and never ever a drawstring. Yours that kind of relates to this is not as bad because it was one person instead of 12.
Oh, myself. Oh, the jacuzzi? We're talking about the jacuzzi?
Nope.
Oh, the crotch diarrhea?
No.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I was just talking about the lady walking into the bathroom and seeing you naked. I wasn't talking about that.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes, the Diva Cup.
The Diva Cup.
Yeah, the Diva Cup story of yes. So
I talked Megan into trying the Diva Cup. I found it quite useful during female times. Hi, Stanley. And, oh my God, okay. Hi, good boy. Yeah, I thought that she might give it a try. I don't remember why. I don't remember what conversation we were having, but it must have been something where you were complaining about something, and I was like, you should try this.
yes, probably the tampon usage.
Fuck, yeah.
Of just Anyway, but no, the Diva Cup was a good idea. I think like I would definitely forget about it, and I had forgotten about the fact that it had been like a while, and I was just
It's so comfortable.
yeah. So sorry if there's anybody that's listening to this story that might be grossed out about the talk of Diva Cups, but that's the part of the story is the Diva Cup, which was there, and then all right. So I went down to a river, like flotation day at the Deschutes River, and it was going to be like just kind of like a I don't know, it was like kind of a group of people or whatever just kind of floating down this river. But in the past, there'd always been like sort of obstruction or like logs and stuff that you would like come to and have to like climb over.
You float down on inner tubes.
Yeah, you're
right?
floating down on an inner tube or like a big tire. I guess like a lot of people use like those tire inserts or whatever
it's called.
tube.
It's called an inner tube.
The inner tube. Which I always found those really dangerous just because like I couldn't easily like jump out if I had to. Like if I was going towards like a, bad
because they were
situation.
so heavily inflated.
Well, you just like sink so deep into them that it's like they're not easy to escape, like if you have to, and sometimes you do. But anyway, so yeah. So I was worried about all the different like things that I was probably gonna like obstacles that were gonna come about going down the river, and that I realized that I had had the Diva Cup in there for very like a long period of time. I thought like, oh no, like like something could happen where things would spill out, like if you get into a contorted position.
Yeah.
And so I was really like relieved when I had made it all the way down the river without having any kind of mishap.
Spillage.
Yeah, like I was very careful with all my movements and like didn't stretch my legs too far climbing over a log. Like I did everything just like very delicately. Thinking I did not want that like blood to be running down my leg at any given point in like a large amount.
Of course.
So then get down to the end, and then I go to the bathroom, like the public restroom that was at the park that like the river goes, ends up at. And I go into the bathroom, and I thought that I had, like latched the lock or whatever for the door all the way, but I don't think it went into that like little the female part. The male part didn't go all the way into the female part. And so but I didn't realize that at the time. So then I go like sit down, pulling out the Diva Cup, which blood is, yes, again, it's like it's not for the squeamish, like poured into the toilet to the point where it was like very intense. Like it was just not like a little bit. It was like the full thing. So it was very obvious that there was like
it was blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I dropped like the Diva Cup into the toilet, slipped out of my hand somehow. I don't know, but it fell in, and then I didn't want to flush it, and I also wanted
They're
it
kind of expensive.
yeah. So I also reached in for those reasons to the toilet water, and as I was doing that, I was also bent over with my bathing suit, like a one piece, of course. So it was like, period day. I was like in a granny bathing suit that was like super tight, like from like 10 years before, like not meant for my body anymore. Down below it was like in my ankles or whatever, and I couldn't pull, I hadn't like tried to pull it up because it was wet, whatever. Bent over, and then this person opens the door while like my hand or arm is in the toilet pulling out the Diva Cup and the blood water. And she's also seeing, like, yes, like me bent over with anything covering my rear area. And so I was just like freaked out. It was like, oh my God, like, or whatever. I don't know what came out of my mouth, but it was just basically like, I think I apologized like over and over again. And then like closed the door as fast as I could, and then definitely made sure it was latched.
Right.
And then I just waited for a really long time, like as I was like wadding up toilet paper to make myself like a makeshift maxi pad or whatever. Waiting for her to go into the next stall over, but the person in the next stall over, I think, was having like some GI upset or whatever.
No.
It was like not coming out in any kind of reasonable time frame.
The poor woman just wanted to pee.
Yeah.
She just wanted to pee. She didn't want to see your vagina or your asshole.
Right.
Or smell whatever was coming out of your neighbor.
Yeah, and plus I kept questioning, like, I kept wondering if she was wondering, like, what I was doing in there too.
For sure she was.
So I had to, like, I felt like I also had to, like, go face her and just, like, act like everything was fine kind of thing. So
to just let her know that you're okay.
And because I knew she also, she did have to go to the bathroom. So
oh my God.
Anyways, I sped up the process and just, like, walked by and I was like, I'm so sorry or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I...
Did you get your Diva Cup back?
I did.
Did
I
you
had
wash
it, like, I wadded it up in toilet paper, and then later, I boiled it.
Yeah.
I boiled it for a very long time. But that was the part of that I it was just such a weird day anyway. And then I told you, like, I walked out of the bathroom and there was like those people doing the polka. It's like polka day at the park. They were like right by the bathrooms, like with their instruments and like dancing. It's just like I was just so mortified, and I just wanted to like hide, and there's just like people everywhere.
Yeah,
just kind of like, oh god. Anyway,
so that's how it always goes. He fucking. Just the last time that I went on an airplane when I was flying home from Wisconsin, I think, from that wedding I shot.
Oh, yeah.
A guy walked into the bathroom on me and I was full on wiping, like full, like spread. Oh, so bad. And I told Patrick about it and he was like, what? Did you not lock the door? And I was like, no, I didn't. Yeah. Like, I just walked straight in and sat down and started peeing. And he was like, you know, the light doesn't turn on in the bathroom unless you lock the door. So were you doing it in the dark? I was. Yeah. I was peeing in the dark. Then he opened the door and the light turned on.
It's just like a beaming ray of light into your
the golden pussy.
Yeah, your curtains or carpet matching your golden pussy showers.
Carpet matching the drapes.
Like, he probably went back to his seat with a boner.
Oh no.
An uncomfortable boner that he had to mash down with like those like provided airplane material, reading material. Do they even give you that anymore? Like those old cool catalogs that they had on the airplanes with like weird shit that you can't ever afford, but it looks cool, like gadgets and stuff.
What was it called?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I just remember it being there.
Is it raining super hard outside, or is that your dehumidifier?
It's raining.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was called Sky Mall.
Oh yeah, that's right, Sky Mall. Yes.
And they had like little tiny slot machines or like
do you think
lava lamps or like, you know.
Do you think people like really ordered stuff out of the Sky Mall?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was always just like too poor to order.
Oh yeah, me too.
Sky Mall.
Me too.
But I was like, people can wish, you know, they have that like.
My brother and I would take it, and take it home and like circle things in there that we were gonna save up for. You know. Yeah. Never.
Freaking Sky Mall.
Hey, fucking Stanley, you're so cute. Look how sweet you are. You're such a sweet boy. Oh.
Oh, he's like, do you want to nurse me?
Yeah.
He's like,
your boobs smell like milk.
Stan,
fuck off. Dude.
Stan, relax,
Get
man.
out of my tits, please.
He motorboated like one of my friends one time. Like, he really did.
No.
He like smashed his face in between her cleavage. She was bent over. And then just like, it was like breathing like really heavily. He was like snorting, like he was breathing so heavily, like in between her breasts. I was like, you boob pervert.
Was she nursing a child?
No.
Because he seems very interested in my boobs right now.
Well, I'm sure they do smell like sweet cream or whatever. Whatever breast milk is supposed to smell like.
I feel like that. Did I tell you we got boosters yesterday?
I knew you said you were going to be getting them, but I didn't know when.
We're all boosted up.
Hey, how's your arm?
It's sore.
Is it?
Yeah. But that's all I've had.
Yeah.
I slept in a little bit today, and my arm is sore. But other than that, I feel fine. But I'm going to breastfeed this booster shot into Scout, and then I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to stop breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Because I'm so ready to take my ADD medication again.
Yeah.
It's been so long and so difficult. It's been like, whatever, since I got pregnant with her. Yeah. Almost 2 years that I've been without my medication.
Gosh,
that makes like my brain work.
Yeah.
Well.
Right. No, I remember like talking about all like when we went that day with our unsuccessful trip that we were like, well, it wasn't unsuccessful, but like the idea in our mind that we were gonna be like, you know, having this like
on Mom Island,
the Mom Island day. Yeah.
Oh. It was kind of unsuccessful. It was fun though.
Yeah, it was still fun. But like the main purpose, that part was unsuccessful. But I did still already have like a good day. But I remember you. That was around the time when you were like going to be having to like stop doing like your medications that had been helping you.
Right.
And it was kind of like
to try to have the baby.
Yeah, that like kind of like sort of
last hurrah.
Yeah, well, that, but also just like kind of like wondering how that was going to affect you.
Oh, my boobs.
Stan, quit doing that. That's weird. Nobody likes that kind of business. God.
So, I'm just going to explain what Mom Island is.
Oh, yeah.
So, I, Cherish, live in a real small town. 250 is the population in Washington State, out in the middle of nowhere. And Megan used to live there with us. She rented what is now my studio area from us and lived out there for a little bit. But there's a nice little spot where we can walk around the corner on this little gravel road, and then there's a river, and then right across the river there's this nice little peaceful looking area that looks like a little beach.
Oh, so peaceful.
And we decided to call it Mom Island, and we claimed it for ourselves, and we were going to take some mushrooms, go to Mom Island.
Surprise.
Right.
Not encouraging
Before, no, right. Well, it was like I was going to have a baby at some point soon, and before I even tried, I wanted to just, give it one last little shot. For a mushroom experience. I don't know why. And then after that, I would get all, clean and nice for the baby. So, but
I'm glad you clarified that. You weren't doing acid throughout
I was not
mushrooms.
Not yet pregnant. Not yet planning to get pregnant, but was planning in the future too.
Yeah.
So we packed this nice little, we put on our bathing suits and packed this nice little picnic, and we went to this river, and you have to really swim across it. So we had this kick-ass double inner tube that had a cooler in the middle of it, built in, and we were gonna swim it over to Mom Island, which we did eventually. But that river is cold as fuck and fast, intense. Not only that, but my town has dogs wandering all over it. It's just kind of part of the town.
The charm.
We call and two of them decided to join us. One of them has an intense skin condition that is just disgusting, and he's constantly scratching himself all the time. So we took mushrooms and went over to Mom Island and went there with the intentions of chilling all day, and these dogs followed us over to Mom Island and sat there just whining and scratching and licking themselves the whole time we were there.
That's true. I totally, yes.
It was awful to listen to. It was terrible. I did not want to hear that shit. It was so gross. Just can you fuck off, please? But they just wanted to be with us because they're so sweet, but they're so gross. Those poor babies. And then we were so cold, and we couldn't remember. We kept trying to start a fire. We couldn't start a fire, so we burned a bunch of tortilla chips.
They were highly flammable though.
They were great. They were great. Fucking poor Mom Island. And then we left. We have Dave bring us warm clothes or something like that.
We did. We had all kinds of things happen. And then eventually we had to get, of course, rescued by Patrick.
Yes.
He had to bring us across.
Well, he brought us back across when it was getting dark, but then we left our tent there. We left your tent there.
That's right. Oh, and
because
Dave later went back, I think.
No,
Patrick got it. Patrick would have got it. Oh gosh.
Patrick. Excuse me. Patrick went back when he was like jogging one day, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he like got all the way into the river, swam across, got the tent and swam it back.
That's so nuts, but so Patrick and amazing.
So nice. That shit was so cold. Oh my God.
gosh,
And it only
yeah.
touched our feet.
Yeah, but what Dave did have a part in this, but what was it?
I know. He brought us.
He did.
Dave is my ex-husband and Megan's ex-boyfriend, but he's like the nicest guy in the world. Dave,
Not that funny, but
I think he brought us warm clothes or something like that.
I think he did. But how did he get him across?
I don't.
There was, like,
I
that
feel like we had
part
to go
like-
get them
Yeah.
from him across the river.
Yeah, that part's like
Man.
really hazy.
I know. We're gonna have to ask him what happened. I didn't think those mushrooms worked at all, but
I
they must
know.
have worked a little bit because
Well, we were also let's not forget that when we realized that they weren't working, and because we gave it a long
Yeah.
time to see if like maybe we were just like,
yeah, because
taking
the last thing you
long-
want to do is like eat more.
Yeah, but then eventually we did we drank I think like seltzer. I think we, got stoned. I'm acting like that's like the worst part of what
Hey, we're in a legal state. We're
Yeah.
allowed to get stoned as much as we want.
yeah. Well, but yeah. So, anywho, it was the intention was
The
there.
last hurrah
Yeah.
before I
and,
got pregnant and couldn't do anything for a long time.
but it was still a lot of fun.
It was
It was an adventure.
I love adventuring with you.
Yeah. I love adventuring with you too, and I loved our all of our trips that involve the road.
I know. I feel like we need to plan another road trip. I really want to do a Montana thing with you.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
It's so awesome. Like, I remember a couple years ago. So like, our last big road trip was when I was still married to like my least favorite ex-husband.
Number 2.
Number 2. We'll just call him number 2. That's good. Because it's like poop.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, yeah.
But goddamn, it was such a pain in the ass to plan that because he wanted to know why I didn't want to go on a road trip with him.
Right.
What was wrong with me? Why did I want to go with you? So then, I mean, fucking, I don't know, 10 minutes into our road trip, maybe he starts calling, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, it really
The
did not.
entire time.
I don't even think we had gotten out of Lacey before he was already calling us.
So annoying. And the whole time, I would be like, hey, he would just be sitting there in silence.
Yeah.
Just listening
That's
to
the
us.
weirdest part.
No, he wanted to hear what we were doing. He's
I
a
know.
crazy person.
That-
But anyway,
Trips me out.
it was a nightmare. But all of that to say, he was so furious that we went on that road trip together, but I had such a good time. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
and
well,
I felt so like free
Yeah.
and wonderful. I had mentioned how much fun our road trip was to Patrick, and I'd like to do that again. He was like, "Oh, you guys should go to Arizona and do when they have when you ride the donkeys up the mountains and stuff."
Oh.
And he's like, or like the Grand Canyon.
Oh, the Grand Canyon.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
and he was like planning, he was like thinking of all the stuff that we could do together and how much fun we would have.
Aw,
And was just
yeah.
he's like, oh, you guys could go to Montana. I'd be like, you'd be home alone with the baby. He's like, that's fine.
Wow.
You guys could have so much fun. Yeah. So nice. Such a different fucking world.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it needed to be because it would have been terrible if you, and not that I'm I don't know, sometimes people stay in things like that longer than, they want to.
Yeah,
a
for
lot
sure.
longer. And I know that it's definitely hard to, realize that sometimes that you're in because of all the just different facets of that or whatever. But yeah, that was a big fear for me is that you would just end up staying in that for, you know, like years and just destroying you,
Yeah.
you know, like that I couldn't have handled, just like seeing that, like, I don't know, like I still like have like, even with that, like, not to get too like deep. But,
No,
like,
it's fine. We
but
can
like
get
as
deep.
like
Who
a
cares?
friend or whatever, you know, it's like, because like I told you, like there definitely things are like a warning, like red flags or whatever for sure, like of different situations. But like I always knew that, like, like Cherish is like, like a badass bitch, and like so.
Look, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, all that other stuff that I started finding out, like it wasn't just like him being like like a jealous, like out in public or whatever, like, because sometimes like, yeah, like that's not necessarily cool, but it's
not necessarily
totally
abuse either.
Yeah, like someone being
not,
like not wanting some other guy to like talk to you or whatever, like being territorial and that sort of thing. But like realizing later, like finding out, like if you just like left work and it took you 17 minutes instead of like the usual 14 minutes to get home, like he would already be like blowing up your phone, like, where are you? What did you stop somewhere? Or, like that kind of thing. Like, why is it taking you longer than 14 minutes? Like, like that was kind of how he was behaving on the road trip, of just being like he had mapped out our trip like, with us. Yeah. And it's like, why aren't you at like mile
you should
marker
be here. You should be here
149 by now?
Right.
Like,
what's taking you guys so long? And we're like, this is exactly why I would never fucking go on a road trip with you, dude. Because we are taking our time. We're stopping wherever we want. Any place that we see that's pretty, we're like stopping and getting out and like enjoying ourselves. We're not holding ourselves to any kind of schedule.
Right.
Well, what time are you going to be at the next? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know? Oh my God. Get a life.
I can't imagine like being so, like I couldn't enjoy anything else because I was so like only consumed by obsessing about what somebody else was doing at every given moment.
Yeah.
Like how are you even enjoying like your own existence?
They don't.
When you're only, like overly consumed about what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like every now and again, like I'll think about like, oh, like I wonder if Kenny's getting off soon, or like a,
right.
But it's not like
where is
like feverishly, like, oh my God,
where are you? What are you doing?
You're like, what are you doing right now? I'm probably talking to someone. I'm probably talking to some at the bar. What the fuck's going on?
I think somebody's here.
Oh.
Well, thank you for listening. You can find us on Instagram at the worst day of my life .podcast. You can email us stories if you like. It's theworstdaypodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a little Facebook group that you can join. It's just the worst day of my life. You can find it. It has our little logo on it. But anyway.
Okay.
I had fun.
Yes.
Thanks for having me over. I gotta go tend to my screaming baby in the car. I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks for having me. Bye.